I get it. You're tired. Tired of waking up every day and feeling like this. You can't even look yourself in the mirror anymore without feeling that weight in your chest. That overwhelming disdain. That quiet disgust. How did it get this bad? How did you let yourself fall this far? Your days feel like a blur, just passing seconds in the same miserable cycle. And yet, even with this self-hatred screaming at you, telling you something is deeply wrong, you still can't move. You're frozen. You still can't take the first step. It's just too much, right? It's too overwhelming to even think about changing. After all, your mind has already adjusted to this reality. Why fight it? Why struggle when it's so much easier to just stay where you are? Because deep down, you know the truth. You know you can't keep living like this. You know this isn't what you were meant to be. I know that feeling. I know that suffocating, hopeless feeling all too well. Because I lived it. A couple years ago, I was exactly where you were. But I know the way out. And if you're willing to listen, I can show you how. During COVID, I was stuck. With no school and no routine to keep me accountable, I spent my days drowning in video games, mindless scrolling, and endless junk food. I did everything I could to distract myself from reality. And for a while, it worked. Until it didn't. It was my 14th birthday when I finally saw it. The undeniable truth of what I had become. I looked into the mirror, and for the first time in my life, I felt absolute disgust at my own reflection. The kind of disgust that shakes you, that's fixed with you, that forces you to see yourself for what you truly are. That moment didn't magically fix everything, but it was the beginning of something. A fire had been lit inside of me, and for the first time, I wanted to change. Fast forward, and I'm not that kid anymore. I run ultra marathons, push my limits, and chase discomfort like my life depends on it. So how does one go from an out-of-shape loser to a disciplined warrior? After years of studying my own transformation and those of others, I found 3 key pillars that form the foundation of every self-improvement journey. Master these, and you'll build the kind of life you can actually be proud of. Let's get this straight. You can't expect to improve if you don't even believe you can. The reason you've let yourself live at this low level for so long is because deep down, you believe it's all you're capable of. And that is why you're failing. You have no confidence. And confidence isn't something you can fake. It's not about lying to yourself and pretending to be strong when you're not. That's delusion. Confidence has to be earned. So how do you earn it? By proving to yourself over and over again that you are capable of more. And it starts with the small things. Stop thinking about the end goal. Stop obsessing over the version of yourself that seems impossible to reach. Instead, focus on winning the next battle. Instead of going in guns blazing and burning out, maybe just try waking up 10 minutes earlier. Maybe just show up to the gym once this week. Maybe just run 1 mile. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's something. Stack those small wins, build that momentum, because self-confidence is something you must earn. And once you've built that self-confidence, it's time to rewire your mind. Confidence alone isn't enough. You have to change the way you think. Back then, every challenge felt impossible. Every opportunity seemed out of reach. I convinced myself that I was just a loser, and that people who were strong, successful, disciplined, they were simply born that way. And that's a fixed mindset. A lie. A fixed mindset convinces you that your intelligence, abilities, and your limits are set in stone. It tricks you into believing that no matter how hard you try, you'll never be able to change. And if you believe that, you'll stay exactly where you are. You have to recognize this pattern of thinking and eliminate it. Ask yourself, are you avoiding challenges because you're scared to fail? Do you believe some things just aren't meant for you? Do you feel like no matter how hard you try, you'll never be good enough? If the answer is yes, then congratulations, you just found your biggest enemy. Your mind is holding you back, and until you start tearing down those mental walls, you'll never be free to grow into the person you're meant to be. But if you can change your mindset, if you can let go of the lies you've been telling yourself, then there's only one last thing you need to confront. This is the hardest one. If you've never felt this way, I genuinely hope you never do. But if you have, then listen closely, because I've been there. There was a time when I despised life, when I hated myself. I couldn't see anything good in my future because I didn't think I deserved anything good at all. I had wasted so much time, lived at such a low level, that I convinced myself that this was all I deserved. But here's the thing. How do you expect to build a better life if you don't believe you're worthy of one? You are, but you have to prove it to yourself. For me, it started with pinpointing exactly what caused that self-hatred. When I finally dug deep, I realized the truth. I hated how weak I was. I hated that I was undisciplined. I hated that I had nothing to be proud of. So I did something about it. And that's what you need to do. Whatever it is that's making you feel worthless, face it, because you are not worthless. But this version of you that refuses to fight, the version that stays comfortable and weak, that version needs to be eliminated. Destroy the old you before it destroys you.
I wish I could tell you this was easy. I wish I could give you a simple step-by-step guide to fixing your life.
But I won't lie to you. There's nothing easy about this. What I can give you, though, is a direction, a starting point, a path that you have to walk on your own. Every one of us has different struggles, different demons, different obstacles standing in our way.
So take what's useful from this video. Apply what resonates. Leave behind what doesn't. But whatever you do, start.
Your future self is waiting for you.